started with this DIY, you're going to need to corral all of your items into one basket, because in the throes of DIYing, everything gets really messy, so you want to keep everything organized from the very start. So let's go ahead and get started with what you need for this project. What you're going to need are these white pebbles. You're also going to need a ramekin of some sort to go ahead and put your acrylic paint in, your white acrylic paint, and then I also have some twine and some nautical rope. I'm not going to use this for this project, but I'm going to be doing 3 projects in one, so that will come in handy later. I also have glue sticks and a paintbrush. This paintbrush actually is a makeup brush that I no longer use, so go ahead and use anything that you have on hand. By all means, you do not need to go and purchase everything if you already have some items that you could go ahead and repurpose for this project. So let's go ahead and get started with the DIY. I forgot to mention that you're going to need this anchor from the Dollar Tree. It's just a wood anchor. It's the largest one that you can find. And you're also going to need some acrylic white paint, Ceramicoat white, or any white acrylic paint for that matter, and then a paintbrush. And also you're just going to need your ramekin so you could go ahead and put your paint in. So let's go ahead and start painting the first coat on here, and then I'll go ahead and fast forward so that way we're not here forever just watching me paint. Now on to the second coat. Now that our project is dry, let's go ahead and start gluing down these stones. Now the reason why I painted the anchor white is because you can see in between the stones, and the background I did not want to see any of the wood poking through, so all I wanted to see was white, so that's why we did the first step. But now we're going to go ahead and glue pebbles down section by section. You don't want to go ahead and, let's say, put a lot of glue down and then throw some rocks down, because it's going to be a scattered look and you don't want that. You want it to look really put together, and you wanted to look like it was a piece that you bought from the store. So let's go ahead and fast forward so that way we're not here forever. Is the finished product. I love how this anchor looks. It looks so put together and so nice, and it literally only cost $2.50 because my acrylic paint only cost 50 cents. So I really love how it came out. One thing I will say is make sure that you stick these pebbles really close to each other so that it looks really cohesive. You don't want to see the hot glue poking through. I'm going to go ahead and stage this with other art pieces from the Dollar Tree, but you can also hang it on a nautical rope and display it that way, but I hope you enjoy. Now on to this captain's mirror. Let's get started with the DIY. I bought this circle mirror from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and make a captain's window with this. So you're going to need acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, and you're also going to need this nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. So let's go ahead and start painting the first coat, and then once this dries, we'll go ahead and do a second coat. Ahead and do a second coat of paint here, and what I don't want you to worry about is getting paint on the mirror. It's okay if there's paint on it. At the end of the project, once the paint is dry, we can go ahead and wipe that all off. It comes right off. But what I want to worry about is just getting this mirror as opaque as possible. So let's continue painting. Now that our paint is dry, let's go ahead and clean up those edges on the mirror that we got some paint on. And I'm just using a wipey and it's just coming right off. And I don't even mind that some of the paint is coming off of the frame. It just adds to the character of the frame, making it look a little bit distressed. So now what I'm doing, I am going to go ahead and add some foil to the ends of my nautical rope. And I ended up ditching this idea because it did end up making my mirror looking a little cheap. So I took the foil off and I went ahead and hot glued the nautical rope to the back of the mirror. So you're gonna go ahead and see that in the next clip, but I hope you really enjoyed this one. It looks so nice and I really enjoy it. Moving on to our last DIY, this Run Wild sign. Now, what you're going to need for this DIY, you're going to need a jewelry display box. Now, I used to sell jewelry, so I have a ton of these, but you can also use a larger canvas from the Dollar Tree or even one of those little display, like, I don't know, they're just signs that are made on a wooden box. Those would work perfectly for this. You're also going to need these wooden alphabets. You're also going to need some glue sticks and some acrylic white paint. And also these really pretty shells on a pillar. What I went ahead and did was knock that pillar off of the starfish and this shell here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is spackle the bottom of these because I don't like the hole that shows at the bottom after you knock it off its pillar. Also, you're going to want to place your items down first before you commit to gluing because you want it to look just right when you start gluing it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward and talk to you once I am done here. On to the last step of this project. We're going to go ahead and hot glue all of our shapes down and our letters down. One thing I will say is make sure that you love your placement prior to committing to gluing down your items because I regret not pushing over the signage a little bit more to the right. Otherwise, I am completely happy with this sign and I enjoy looking at it when I go into my bathroom. Are pretty much done. All you need to do is clean off any glue bits, but I hope you love this sign and this is what the finished product looks like. I hope you loved all these DIYs and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.